best Philly shell since Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
His defense was incredible.
Yeah. Defense, and he stayed. And that guy was putting the guy from Golden Boy. I can't remember his name, who he fought, but was just a good fighter and was really pressuring him. And Shakur stayed in the pocket.
Yeah.
He stayed in the pocket.
He also said he's not
calling him a runner before.
Anymore.
He's not a runner,
Teofimo is just a sore loser. He's just a peanut brain, so.
Shakur, that guy will put anybody to sleep outside the ring. Not inside the ring, because that's he's the most boring fighter in the history of boxing. And they can say whatever they want, they can hype him up and all that stuff, but I really feel bad for him because there's no way they could put him on pay-per-view.
Lopez's words cut through the boxing world like a knife. If ESPN wanted the black fighters, they could keep them. What seemed like casual frustration suddenly became something much darker, a statement that sent shockwaves through the entire sport. This wasn't your typical pre-fight banter. This was Teofimo Lopez drawing a line that would make their upcoming clash about way more than just championship gold.
I'm gonna go with my boy Shakur. I just think we'll just keep the distance, keep it clean, fight when he needs to, box when he needs to. But I do like Lopez. He's very athletic. He knows how to box, and I think when he's an occasion like this, he does rise to it. But I just think Shakur's been around the world as an amateur as well as a pro. I think he's more of a seasoned fighter. I'd say Wood maybe. I think they've both been a bit inactive, but I'd say Wood. I think he's a bigger puncher. I think he might just clip him and hurt him. Sugar Nunes, I was out in Japan. That's actually where I met Inoue at that fight. I'd never watched him before until then. He's relentless, he can hit hard, he's a small target. I'll go with Nunes. You gotta go with Shields. I think she's ticked every box as a pro and amateur. I think the fought before she's beat her, so I think he'll be 2-0.
Shakur Stevenson saw right through what Lopez was really saying. To him, this wasn't about promotional politics or media coverage. This was pure jealousy, wrapped up in coded language. A direct shot at him and every other black athlete getting recognition in boxing. Stevenson interpreted it as Lopez trying to tear down what others had built, adding a layer of personal venom that transformed their professional rivalry into something deeply emotional and explosive.
Canelo has a unique style that works for Canelo himself. Didn't happen that night. I had Crawford winning the fight, and he did. So this is not that, you know? And my best attribute in my skill set is my footwork. So I look forward to seeing how much am I going to develop going against a fighter like him. What did I learn from all the fighters that I faced in my 23 fights as a professional fighter? So it's exciting.
Is there a rematch clause in this?
No rematch clause. We risk it all the time. No need for a rematch clause.
Circle January 31st, 2026 on your calendar right now. Madison Square Garden becomes the epicenter of boxing. When these two warriors collide in what's being called the fight of the year, this isn't some tune-up bout or meaningless exhibition. We're talking about Lopez's WBO Super Lightweight Championship on the line, with Stevenson making his debut at 40 pounds and immediately going for the throat. The Ring 6 card just became appointment television.
You know, people think the fight with Teo is either going to be you delivering a masterclass
or a knockout by Teo.
Yeah, or you getting into some type of brawl with Teo and end up getting knocked out, right? What are fans getting wrong about the matchup?
I think the fans is getting wrong about the matchup is where I'm not sleeping on that I know about Teo. Teo's a good boxer. Mm-hmm. He's boxer first. Mm-hmm. So we could say, oh, he's just going to knock you out. He's just going to... That's not him. He's boxing first. He's going to want to establish distance and range on the outside and try to beat me up on the outside. So I think that's the main thing. And also the biggest thing that everybody don't realize with me, I can punch. Mm-hmm. Everybody say, oh, he can't punch, and then boom, crack somebody, and then they laying down, or something may happen to where they hurt or something like that. So I think that's two big things where they don't understand or know.
Here's what makes this so incredible. Stevenson isn't taking baby steps into this new weight class. Most fighters would grab a couple warm-up fights, get comfortable with the extra pounds. Not Shakur. He's walking straight into the lion's den, challenging the division's king in his very first fight at 4T. This is either brilliant confidence or absolute madness, and we're about to find out which one it is.
I will be 100 times better come fight night against Teofimo Lopez than I was against Zepeda. 1,000 times better. Faster, sharper, stronger, mentally more on point, and I can't wait.
You said a couple of times now you see some holes in Teofimo's game. I know you don't want to give away your game plan at the kickoff press conference, but where are the weaknesses? Where are some of the weaknesses in his game?
A lot of the weaknesses is in his mental. I think it's more mental than anything again. I'm going to expose it.
You said in your last fight that you proved you were a dog against William Zepeda. What do you want to prove in this one?
That I'm the best. I want to show the world that I'm the best. After this fight, I want to be considered top 5 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, and I can't wait to show it.
You said this week that you were in for a rude awakening when you get to 140. What do you think he's in for when he goes up against you?
I think he just don't realize how good I am. I think come fight night, he's going to realize that I'm going to take it to another level that he has never seen before. So if he's expecting the Lomachenko, the Josh Taylor fight to happen, it won't be that type of fight.
Teofimo, let me start with first, I've noticed you're doing a lot of reading and a lot of writing there as this pressure's been going on. What have you been kind of jotting down over the last few minutes?
Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Yo, for real, y'all not excited for this? Yo, hey, production, can y'all put the echo down a little bit? But listen, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm just, just doing some self-work. That's all it is. But nevertheless, man, shout out to the Knicks. NBA semifinals against the Orlando Magic. That's up, coming soon. Let's go Knicks. I'm excited for that. And yeah, man, y'all not excited, man? This is 2 of the guys that they say is the best of the best. About to lace it up here in beautiful Madison Square Garden, the mecca of boxing. January 31st. Chris Mannix, I'm happy, man. I'm grateful, thankful, blessed. And gonna have Shakur Jigama,
You said you're going to do what?
Jigga my balls.
What? Pause, bro.
You fell for
wow,
that shit.
bro. Why you always doing that, bro?
So Niagara Falls.
Teofimo, you could have gone a few different directions for your next fight. Done a unification at 140. You've talked in the past about moving up in weight. Why was this the right fight for you?
Hold on, I'll tell you what.
Fuck you too, nigga. Fuck wrong with you?
I mean, come on now. Like, he's saying this, he's saying that in the third, but in reality, man, this guy is the best, and we're here to face the best. And that's just what it is. Forget the rest. That's all it is, man. That's what it takes. We define the odds. We're against all odds. And to DraftKings and to all the betting odds out there, make sure you keep the odds in highly favored in Shakur. I got a lot of people that are starving, and they need to make their money. So
nobody questions Stevenson's technical brilliance anymore. Olympic silver medalist, perfect professional record, defensive wizard who makes elite fighters look amateur. His southpaw stance creates nightmares for opponents, and his precision punching is surgical. Now he's hunting title number 4 across different weight classes, trying to stamp his name alongside boxing's all-time legends before he even hits 30.
I'm not none of them fighters. I think that he did some great things against them guys. I seen a lot of weaknesses in his game too, and something that he said earlier, he said, Teo never lost to a southpaw. Well, I never lost to an orthodox. So it ain't no different, but
the difference is you never fought no elite fighter.
Okay, I don't think y'all did either.
Oh, so you gotta show it, baby.
I don't think y'all did either. I ain't see.
Not on my son.
I ain't see Lomachenko throw no punches.
You never been on a big stage like this.
I didn't see Lomachenko throw punches for 6
rounds. You never been on a big stage like this.
I didn't see Lomachenko throw punches
for 6 rounds. Because we froze him.
Okay, you gonna see.
We gonna freeze you too.
You better not throw the towel in.
Come on, man. You out of your mind.
Okay.
Shit. My son fought without no air. My son fought without no air against Cambosos.
You can't fight for your son. You can't fight for your son.
You gonna tell me, man? Come on.
You can't fight for your son.
I bet you gonna quit.
Yeah, okay, you gonna see.
All right?
Shakur, we've heard seen you say a couple of times or bring up the Zepeda fight, maybe kind of hoping that you fight that style. Do you think they're trying to get you out of your game in that way?
I will be 100 times better come fight night against Teofimo Lopez than I was against Zepeda. 1,000 times better. Faster, sharper, stronger, mentally more on point, and I can't wait.
You said a couple of times now you see some holes in Teofimo's game. I know you don't want to give away your game plan at the kickoff press conference, but where are the weaknesses? Where are some of the weaknesses in his game?
A lot of the weaknesses is in his mental. I think it's more mental than anything, and I'm going to expose it.
You said in your last fight that you proved you were a dog against William Zepeda. What do you want to prove in this one?
That I'm the best. I want to show the world that I'm the best. After this fight, I want to be considered top 5 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, and I can't wait to show it.
You said this week that you were in for a rude awakening when you get to 140. What do you think he's in for when he goes up against you?
I think he just don't realize how good I am. I think come fight night, he's going to realize that I'm going to take it to another level that he has never seen before. So if he's expecting the Lomachenko, the Josh Taylor fight to happen, it won't be that type of fight.
Stevenson looks at Lopez and sees someone he's already figured out completely. In his mind, he's watched the tape, studied every angle, and discovered the blueprint for victory. Shakur believes his boxing IQ operates on a different planet entirely from Lopez. And come fight night, he plans to put on a clinic that leaves no doubt about who the superior fighter really is.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder, Chris. This place is special. I think when this fight was talked about, I think both Shakur and Teofimo Lopez need a huge amount of credit for making this fight. Both of the guys are the respective kings of their division. Teofimo Lopez, the #1 guy at 140. Shakur, the #1 guy at 135. And when I heard about this fight, I didn't expect it to happen. And you know, the work that His Excellency's done, Ring Magazine, to make this fight quite sensational. But the icing on the cake is to see the fight at Madison Square Garden. This is, for me, the absolute mecca of boxing. And speaking to Joel and Sal, the incredible team at the Garden, the pre-sale numbers are through the roof. This place will be full to the rafters on January 31st. You've got Newark against Brooklyn, but more importantly, you've got 2 generational great fighters. In Teofimo Lopez, a guy that beat the man at 135, up at 140. But this guy to my right, when you talk about chasing greatness, 28 years of age and trying to become a 4-division world champion on January 31st. Look at the names in the history that have done it. Roy Jones Jr., Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Juan Manuel Marquez. Greatness only gets appreciated over time. Let's acknowledge what we're about to see on January 31st. This is 2 guys in their absolute prime. And we should be very, very lucky in a sport that's dominated by money, and these fighters deserve every penny they get. These guys are chasing legacy. And that's so motivating to be involved in an event like this. And the undercard will be announced in due course. Frank Smith and the brilliant guys at Seller and Ring Magazine. Rick, thank you very much. This is just an incredible event to be involved with. But just take it in and enjoy what we're about to see. 2 great fighters in their prime, putting it all on the line for their legacy in the sport.
The mental warfare started early when Stevenson publicly dissected what he sees as Lopez's biggest weakness. It's not his technique or his power, it's what's between his ears. Shakur claims Lopez doesn't even understand the level of skill he's about to face, a psychological dagger aimed at undermining his opponent's confidence. When asked about the weight jump, Stevenson just shrugged it off. Lopez isn't that much bigger, and size means nothing without the skills to back it up. He promised fans a performance that would blow away anything they'd seen from him before. Faster reflexes, sharper combinations, and most importantly, complete mental domination.
Stevenson's going to be having a fight coming up. I know there's a lot of pressure of having to perform. Some people have been very critical of, this last fight. He has the free agency thing coming up. Any kind of wisdom, advice, and something for a young fighter?
Shakur don't need me to give him any wisdom. Shakur that guy, man. And call it whatever you want to call it. He ain't going to be with Top Rank, whatever y'all want to say. You hated this. He don't need me to say what he needs to do. Shakur already knows what he needs to do. He's seeing Tank shine. He's seeing Tank get that attention. But, his ultimate goal is to be the best at 135 pounds. That's his goal. So he gonna come in feeling some type of way. He gonna come in refocused, dedicated like always, and he gonna show y'all. He gonna show y'all what he's made of on that night when he returns. Trust me, he will. You know, he has that in him, dog. He's different, cut from a different cloth, bro.
He's the one that beat. He's the one to beat Tank. You think?
Yeah, yeah. And call me a hate. I don't give a damn. Yeah, y'all keep coming at me. Keep bringing that hate. Keep bringing that hate, baby. I love it.
Lopez fired back with equal intensity, making it clear this fight exists because he actively hunts the best competition available. He sees this as his legacy moment, the kind of fight boxing desperately needs, where elite fighters stop ducking each other and actually settle things in the ring. For Lopez, this represents his chance to prove he belongs among the sport's elite tier.
I actually set this fight up, and I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level, and I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough set, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Lamar Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Teo, he's a bigger name though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's on one belts at 35, one belts at 30, at 40. So he's more accomplished. So I know that would be a better name on my resume.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that this is going to be a tough fight for you.
I mean, they absolutely right to have their opinion. I already know this guy's good. I done came up in the amateurs with him. I chose this for that reason.
Lopez warned Stevenson that 40 pounds is a completely different world, one where Teofimo has been tested, refined, and perfected through brutal wars. He emphasized his unpredictability as a weapon, claiming opponents never know which version of him they'll face on any given night. Lopez thrives under bright lights and massive pressure, and he believes his experience at junior welterweight gives him every advantage he needs to hand Stevenson his first professional loss. Fight experts worry this could turn into a technical chess match instead of the explosive war fans expect. If Lopez decides to sit back and counterpunch like Stevenson typically does, we might get 12 rounds of cautious boxing instead of fireworks. The key is whether Lopez embraces his aggressive side or gets caught up in trying to outbox a master boxer. Joe Rogan broke down exactly why Stevenson is so special during a recent podcast. He highlighted Shacker's supernatural defensive instincts, his ability to slip punches while staying close enough to counter, and ring intelligence that few fighters possess. Rogan pushed back against critics who call Stevenson boring, arguing that his technical mastery represents boxing at its purest form. Abel Sanchez painted a concerning picture where both fighters might be so evenly matched and cautious that we get a draw. Nobody wants to see. Both men are brilliant technicians, but neither naturally comes forward throwing bombs. This stylistic reality suggests we might witness more strategic maneuvering than non-stop action. Breaking down their contrasting approaches reveals fascinating dynamics. Lopez brings explosive speed and devastating power, while Stevenson counters with superior bodywork, timing, and overall craftsmanship. Shakur operates as a stick-and-move artist with elite defensive skills, long reach, and perfect timing. Lopez functions as a boxer-puncher who specializes in counterattacks, an elite athlete who saves his absolute best for the biggest stages. Lopez's resume backs up his confidence completely. He's captured Ring Magazine titles in 2 divisions, entering both fights as a massive underdog. His upset of Vasily Lomachenko as a 4-1 long shot shocked the boxing world, and his domination of Josh Taylor proved it wasn't a fluke. This pattern suggests Stevenson might be walking into the most dangerous version of Lopez imaginable. Stevenson quickly shut down any comparisons to Lopez's previous opponents, making it clear he's neither Lomachenko nor Taylor, while respecting what Lopez accomplished against those fighters. Shakur sees distinct weaknesses in Teofimo's game that he plans to exploit ruthlessly. He refuses to be defined by other fighters' failures. When Lopez bragged about never losing to a southpaw, Stevenson had the perfect comeback ready. He's never lost to an orthodox fighter either, completely flipping the narrative. Shakur then questioned the actual quality of Lopez's opposition, suggesting this fight will expose limitations that weaker opponents couldn't reveal. Tim Bradley sees Stevenson as the perfect stylistic matchup to eventually dethrone Gervonta Tank Davis. Bradley believes Shakur's defensive mastery and ring IQ would completely neutralize Tank's power, setting up a potential unification fight that could crown boxing's next superstar. Eddie Hearn couldn't contain his excitement about this matchup, calling Madison Square Garden the perfect venue for what he considers a true legacy fight. Hearn emphasized that Lopez reigns as the clear #1 at 40 pounds while Stevenson dominates at 135, making this a genuine best versus best scenario that rarely happens in modern boxing. He praised both fighters for risking everything instead of chasing easy paydays, highlighting Stevenson's ambitious pursuit of becoming a 4-division champion at just 28 years old, joining legendary company like Roy Jones Jr. and Sugar Ray Leonard. Lopez's strategy centers on the belief that Stevenson fears getting hit, planning to neutralize the jab and then unleash his superior power in close quarters. He's betting that once Shakir's main weapon gets taken away, raw aggression and devastating punching power will decide the outcome. This fight transcends sport and becomes personal warfare. January 31st, 2026 won't just crown a champion, it could reshape boxing's entire landscape and establish a new standard for what elite competition looks like when everything is on the line.